Hello, everybody, and welcome back to a brand new episode of the NASCAR Heat 5 Career Mode. Hope you're all having a great day. Today, we go racing here in the NASCAR Legends Series, the Xfinity Series, as well as the Cup Series at my home track in Canada for the final time in our NASCAR Heat 5 Career Mode. So excited for that one for sure, as well as one of the final road course races ever in our NASCAR Heat 5 Career Mode, other than Mid-Ohio and the Charlotte Roval coming up here now later in the playoffs. But here we were in the NASCAR Legends Series here, trying to get the best finish we can here in these closing races of the regular season, where for the first time ever in the NASCAR Legends Series in its third season, we will actually get to compete in the playoffs, which is certainly a nice change now as we come through here. Running a little bit rough in this race. It wasn't the greatest race, but I would climb up into the top 10 here before long now, about the halfway point here on lap 6 of 13. Jonathan Cadell was out front, but we cut straight through towards the end of this race, final lap, and we only got up to P8. So it was a pretty calm, kind of boring NASCAR Legends Series race. There wasn't a whole lot of action, especially for myself. Jonathan Cadell would pick up the victory, and I come through into turn 3 as well as turn 4, and we're going to be able to come through and get a solid, at least top 10 finish here of P8. So decent way to start out the day so far here. Now, as I can confirm, the NASCAR Legends Series, obviously with NASCAR 21 Ignition, is no longer going to be a thing. So that's a little bit kind of sad, but I'm going to maybe see if I can work some kind of way in to maybe have a new series like that in NASCAR 21. And you might be wondering, how am I going to exactly incorporate trucks and Xfinity into our NASCAR 21 career mode? It's actually pretty straightforward how it's going to happen. So iRacing, as you guys know, has AI, and I'm going to be using the iRacing AI to do our trucks and Xfinity career mode parts for that series on NASCAR 21 Ignition. So you can download the full rosters of like 2021. It's going to be very, very easy, and that way we can have some freedom to change driver names as well, a lot easier than it is to mod on NASCAR Heat 5 and whatnot. So you're going to see that a part of our career mode in that way for the next NASCAR game, which I'm very excited for. Hopefully you guys enjoy that now, as that still allows us to keep the authenticity of having all three major series, as well as you might see the odd occasion of maybe an ARCA race or something pop up as well and stuff. So a lot of potential there that I cannot wait for you guys to see with NASCAR 21 Ignition career mode on the way here later in October. Now, Daniel Suarez out here in Watkins Glen had a bit of a rough day. He actually cleaned out Kevin Magnussen out of turn 1 after he lost the back end of his car coming straight through to the final lap, though. He had at least gotten up inside the top 5 here at the end of this race down the front straightaway. Suarez comes through to get P6 over AJ Allmendinger there in that number 11 car. As you see, Landon Castle actually gets his first Xfinity Series win in Watkins Glen. So great job by Landon Castle now, as we're going to focus on moving into the Cup Series for some more road racing. We've had quite a bit of road racing here in the last few episodes. This is honestly like my favorite part of the schedule. Welcome to Canadian Tire Motorsports Park, but opened back in 1961 here, which was only about a $500,000 project actually here now, as this track used to host some Formula One Grand Prix here for the F1 Canadian Grand Prix back in the 1960s into the 1970s as well here, as now they host a NASCAR Cup Series race for the final time in our career mode.
Okay, we know it's your home track, but treat it like any normal race.
I still want redemption from last season here.
Yeah, man, you got this.
There you hear myself as well as our crew chief of Lantion over the radio now, as we're getting ready to take the green flag for the final time at our home track here at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park, formerly known as Mosport here now. As you can see right off the bat, Todd Gilliland posting some fast laps in practice, looking strong, as well as Rajah Caruth. You might notice some performance changes here late in this regular season, as well as there has been some rating changes here given to myself by Lation. So you notice we didn't qualify either. We started at the back. We failed technical inspection for the first time this season, so here we are at the back of the grid for our final race at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park, which is now underway here. Lewis Hamilton out in front of the pack as we make the stretch down into turn 1. Obviously, when you're in this part of the pack at a road course, just all about being careful on these opening laps. There's no reason to be over aggressive and get yourself into trouble when you know that we have a car capable of running in the top 5 and potentially winning here today, now that our car has gotten fully up to its upgraded potential also now, and it's just as fast as our 24 car was last season with Gordon Hendrick Motorsports. Now, Gordon Hendrick not having the season they've been looking for. Kyle Larson's the only one that's really been able to get to victory lane for that Gordon Hendrick Motorsports team. Blaney's been close here and there. Bowman has been struggling all season. William Byron has been having a terrible season here as we head up into what's my favorite kind of series of corners here on the whole Cup Series schedule. Just a very unique corner, and you can see we're going like 20 miles per hour in first gear in a NASCAR race. I don't think that's right now as we get back going, though, down this long back straightaway. So we're going to go from about 20 miles per hour all the way to probably up over 170 or so miles per hour as we head down this long sweeping straightaway in towards this nice sweeping right-hander into that penultimate left-hander. And then, of course, we have that one final corner that goes to the right down that front stretch. As I make a mistake there, Outbreak Myself got into the back of the number 10 of Matt DiBenedetto there for the Stuart Haas Racing team. Is actually getting to the back of him again as we came through that penultimate turn. So roughing up DiBenedetto by accident it was, but I mean, it didn't even work out for us because he's still ahead of us here down this front stretch. But now I look up the inside into turn 1 and up into the top 30 at least we go, but a lot of work to do. So now on the little bit of the later part, about halfway through this second lap, we got past the 33 of Austin Cindric up in a P27. There you see our rival of Joey Logano just up in front of us. Actually give him a nice push down that back straightaway. Then to decide we're going to take it 3 wide down this back stretch with Logano as well as Noah Gragson. We move up into the top 25. So stage points in stage 1 probably not going to happen for us, but we can of course give it our best shot here now as I actually outbrake myself again for the second lap in a row in the same corner. This time it was kind of on purpose because I saw the 22 was coming and I was like, if he gets to my back bumper, he's just going to try and wreck us now. Last time we came to Canada last season, we had a bit of a run-in with Joey Logano as well. Now as he gets into our quarter panel, just about down this front stretch now to the right-hand side of the 42 of Hemrick. Now Logano goes spinning behind us there in the 22 car. He saves it, a great save to keep that car going in the right direction, but I don't know if that was contact that we made on the front straightaway that caused that, or if he just straight up lost it, because I didn't even really feel like I got hit by the 22 of Joey Logano. But nonetheless, a great save by the 22 as we move up into 23rd place here. Now to 2 laps to go in stage 1. Overall, Canada, very short race here in the Cup Series now as Lewis Hamilton was continuing to lead the way, trying to pick up yet another playoff point on the season. He's just trying to guarantee himself in the Final Four already now as we get right to the back of the 2 of Ryan Preece up the inside of Harrison Burton. Got to be careful racing around guys like Harrison Burton, Joey Logano, of course our teammates of Christopher Bell and Tyler Reddick, as they're all battling for that final playoff spot. And if we have a new winner today, that puts pretty much everybody in a must-win situation. So that's how kind of stretched out 15th is to 16th there. As you see, a bit of a mistake from myself right there in that final few corners. Now as I lost the back end, I was under attack starting the final lap of stage 1 from the 19 of Harrison Burton. 3 wide into turn 1. Chastain forces it up the inside. A very Ross Chastain move right there now as we came through out of turn 1. Still in the top 20 here. And then by the time we came through a few corners later, me and Chastain actually run down the 2 of Preece and the 48 of Alex Bowman, who were battling it out side by side. Hamilton, by the way, has a large lead over second place down that back straightaway for the final time here as we're side by side. But Chastain, a little bit of contact there, wheel to wheel going at it here on this final half a lap in stage 1. But now crossing over that 48. And now we're going to try and go to the right-hand side of Chastain. The fuel icon has come on, but obviously we have no problem with making it to the end of this stage now as we would get up to P18 over that 99 of Ross Chastain. Lewis Hamilton out of the final turn is going to come through to win stage 1 here in Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. A great stage for him. He was looking very strong here in the early portions of this race. Only 5 laps though, so it's really hard to see exactly where everybody is, and obviously we're moving forward, so it's definitely a good start for us as we cross the line, or come out of the final turn anyways, to get P18 here on this first stage. Overall, I mean, I was pretty happy with the car, and obviously we're going to bring it into the pit lane here and get 4 tires as well as 2 cans of fuel, and then hopefully gain maybe a spot or 2 on the pit lane there. As you see, Alia got 2nd, Gilliland 3rd, our teammate of Christopher Bell and Tyler Reddick both inside the top 10. Roush LeBron Racing stepping it up here as Lewis Hamilton wins stage 1 in Canada. Welcome back to, I guess, what you could call the NASCAR Cup Series Canadian Grand Prix here as we're ready to go green for the start of stage 2. Lewis Hamilton was your stage 1 winner. He is on that front row alongside the 9 of Chase Elliott here as we get ready to go green from P20 for the start of stage 2, which is now underway, and it is time to get amped in Canada. need to loosen it up just a little bit.
Okay, we're gonna lower the wedge a little bit and up the right rear. You keep doing that, we're gonna win the race.
There you have the AMP segment here from Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. Just 4 laps to go in Stage 2 now, passing the 2311 driver of Bubba Wallace. Won recently at Iowa now as we're up the inside of Kyle Larson. We're just putting the attack to everybody here. As soon as we get to them, we're passing them now as we go in the grass a little bit there. Hamilton still out in front here in the early portions of Stage 2 now, as I'm struggling a little bit to actually get past that Gordon Hendrick driver and former teammate of Kyle Larson, but we would complete the pass now as we come through. Now to lap 3, Lewis Hamilton ended up losing the lead to the 9 of Chase Elliott here now, as we're even going to go around our teammate of Tyler Reddick. I didn't want to make that pass because I know how important stage points are for him right now, but he's doing a good job beating who he needs to be beating in the bubble situation, so I didn't really feel too bad about passing him right there now as we come through. Now to the right-hand side of Derek Krause, approaching just 2 laps to go in Canadian Tire Motorsports Park in the second stage. Elliott still out in front, and we're up in 9th place now, passing that 45 of Krause for 23-11 Racing. Now behind us, so the 60 of Reddick goes spinning in the penultimate corner. Larson involved as well now, as it looks like he's going to have to try and get that collected really quick now, as he's stopped on the track now, and he's going to probably pull in front of traffic right here. Yes, he is. The 33 of Cindric nails him in the front, and no caution comes out because we are on relaxed yellow. So the green flag stayed out, but immediately right there, that's going to put Reddick probably in a must-win scenario to make it into the playoffs now at this point, because he would actually be out of this race. He actually had to limp the car all the way around the track and then bring it into the pit lane, and then he would be out here now as we come through to the closing moments of Stage 2, giving that number 16 of Casgrella a big push. And I found out pretty quick right there, it doesn't matter how hard you push the car in front of you, when they're side by side with someone down that back straightaway here in Canada, for some reason they just do not go faster. It's really weird. So now the 45 was actually joining the party there, as I got right into the back of the 16. The second time I've really driven into the back of someone in that corner now, as we come through to the final lap of Stage 2. Chase Elliott out in front in that McLaren number 9 at Napa Auto Parts Chevrolet Camaro here, as he has been lighting it up lately in our career mode now. Won 2 races in a row for his first 2 wins of the season, and then has been able to pick up some stage victories as well, as we got aggressive there into turn 2. The 45 sideways after we did make some contact, and overall we didn't gain anything out of that aggressive move there, but we now lunge up the right hand side and repass the 45 finally of Derek Krause on this final lap now, as we're right to the back of the 16 of Gralla, up the inside of him here on the final half a lap here now, as we got up on 2 wheels there, trying to show off my motocross skills real quick, and then finally get clear of that number 16 down this back straightaway up into 8th place, as Elliott continues to be comfortably ahead of drivers like Lewis Hamilton as well as Todd Gilliland. Our teammate of Christopher Bell having an exceptional run here today so far in Canada, up towards the top 5 all race long. We'll see if we can continue that into this third and final stage. If it stays green in Stage 3, we will have a green flag pit stop to spice things up here. Through the penultimate turn though, down into that final right-hander, we're going to come through to get some stage points here in Stage 2. Made a bit of a mistake right there and actually put the 16 right to my back bumper coming to the line, but we would hold him off there and get P8 in this second stage. So overall, I was pretty happy with the car at this point now. Didn't really see a need to go too crazy on the adjustments and whatnot now, as you see Christopher Bell ended up P4, Sam Mayer 5th, Christian Eckes up there in P6, having a strong run as well now, as everybody will be pitting here for 4 tires as well as 2 cans of fuel. And unfortunately, this right here would confirm that Tyler Reddick was unfortunately out of the race. So Chase Elliott wins Stage 2 in Canada. Ready to go green for the third and final stage here from Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. Now Lewis Hamilton won stage 1, Chase Elliott won stage 2. Where have we seen that? Well, the very last race they actually both won those first 2 stages. So both Elliott and Hamilton very strong here in the late regular season. Now as we are underway for the third and final stage here in Canada. Now it is 8 laps of racing remaining here. Like I said, if it stays green, we will have to come into the pit lane with probably 2, 3, 4 or so laps to go in this race. So we're not going to have a whole lot of racing left after we come out of the pit lane here. Now, as I'm trying to play it a little bit safe here, kind of left myself vulnerable, left a hole open there to the 2, but fortunately he didn't take it, and we were able to stay in front of him now as we're right to the back of that 16. We were 3 wide for a moment there. Harrison Burton getting aggressive. He knows what's on the line with this playoff situation right now. Now as Christopher Bell, by the way, took the lead on the restart. The 17 Roush LeBron Racing driver up into P1 now in Canada. Can he hold on over Lewis Hamilton, who's in second place? He was already under attack, though, from Lewis Hamilton down that back straightaway now as I'm trying to put the attack to the left-hand side of Kaz Grala. Now, Christopher Bell not in a must-win scenario to get into the playoff series. He's been consistently closing in on that bubble to get into the final potential spot here in the playoffs. So it'll be interesting to see how hard he fights against a driver like Lewis Hamilton as well as Chase Elliott now as lap 18 comes around, and we were comfortably in P6 running down the top 5 drivers of Eckes, Gilliland, Elliott, Hamilton, and the 17 of Christopher Bell. We get to the left-hand side of Eckes here down into the sweeping right-hander now as he's going to try and outbrake us now as he does a way better job under braking through there. But now into that penultimate corner, we're going to try and stick it up that left-hand side here and get clear of him, hopefully into the final turn. Doesn't quite happen the way we were hoping it would, so we continue side by side down the front straightaway now as he is not going to back out, and I'm certainly not going to back out as we sail it off into turn 1 again. That 83 really good under braking here, but fortunately we have a tremendous exit and get up into P5. So now as we come through towards the end of lap 19, hitting lap 20, we closed in on the back of the 38 of Todd Gilliland. 5 laps to go. We knew green flag pit stops were coming there. You saw a bit of a mistake for myself in turn 1. The car just tried to crash. It was kind of weird. But now later on at lap 20, Hamilton, Gilliland, Elliott, they were all scrapping it out. I take advantage here up the right hand side into that sweeping right hander. I go a little bit deep in the corner. We were 3 wide for a brief moment with Gilliland as well as Lewis Hamilton. And now Hamilton back up into third. Elliott holds on to second. Christopher Bell loving everything he sees. He is able to escape from everybody, and he is driving away now as we're still scrapping it out here with that 38 of Gilliland, who we stole that first win of his career from back recently in our last road course race at Watkins Glen. Now as we finish second in Canada last season, and in the 2 I think Canada races we've done, we've had 1 win and a second place finish here. So I'm hoping we could get redemption, like I said, today in our final season and win. But now on the end of lap 21, everybody except for Lewis Hamilton pretty much is coming into the pit lane, and an easy call for me. I decided just 1 can of fuel, no tires, and to my surprise, everybody behind us other than the 38 of Todd Gilliland took tires. The 9 of Elliott took tires, as well as the 17 of Christopher Bell took tires as well. So now we need to hope it stays green, because first of all, we're out in front, but if a caution comes up, they're going to be way faster than us, and it's going to be nearly impossible to hold them off for 2 laps at a road course, and, well, the caution comes out. It better not have been a debris caution. There you hear myself saying it better not have been a caution for debris now, as NASCAR had a bit of a history for that in the past. But we are going to be leading. But, like I said, other than the 38 of Todd Gilliland, who I think is actually pitting again for some reason, the 17 of Christopher Bell has fresher tires than us, and the 9 of Chase Elliott has fresher tires than us, and probably everybody that pitted behind them as well has fresher tires. So this is going to be an interesting restart, because now here we are, leading the way, not in the preferred lane, which is unfortunate here for this restart. We've lost the lead many times before in this same scenario, and now we're at a disadvantage as we're back underway overtime. Underway here in Canada, down into turn 1. It's not even a contest. The 17 blows the doors right off of me here now as we come through out of turn 1. A little bit wide right there. We have a good chunk of breathing room behind us here in second place at least, but look at the 17 is just gone already here as we head down into what, turn 3 I believe we're in now. So I don't even know. I was actually blown away by the fact that he was able to just go right on by and already open up a gap. Chase Elliott back up into third place behind us. this, and I know he's got fresh tires as well compared to myself here, as I know I need to get right to the back of the 17. Right here is going to be our opportunity to potentially get that lead back, but I get a little bit loose right there, and that completely destroyed the chance right there to be able to pass the 17 or get to his back bumper and maybe move him. So we couldn't gain anything. We come to the final lap, and we had lost even more time to the 17 of Christopher Bell. Chase Elliott, now as the white flag is underway, is running me down as well there in 3rd place, and now we know we only have one shot here as I lose the car once again. They're just driving way too hard now, as we are only going to get one opportunity in that slow double right-hander here, as I am full sending it through here, just doing everything I can to get to the back of the 17. I sail it in, hoping it's going to somehow stick. It doesn't stick. We go way wide right there, and now we nearly lose it again. We save it, and here comes Chase Elliott up our back bumper, and now at this point I knew it was over. 2nd place is what it was likely going to be here against the 17 of Christopher Bell and the Roush LeBron Racing Ford Mustang. If only we would have taken, I think 2 tires is all it would have taken, and we would have been okay. But obviously I didn't anticipate that the AI were going to take any tires. So through the final few corners for the final time, it looks like it's going to be back-to-back seasons in a disappointing fashion at our home track for a runner-up finish now, as Christopher Bell leads the way through the final corner under pressure from Chase Elliott, who has way more speed in these closing laps. Not enough from him. We come through to cross the line. Christopher Bell, our teammate, wins his way into the playoffs. Happy to see one of our teammates actually go to victory lane without me actually having to help them and push them to victory lane. But at the same time, disappointing, because I really wanted to win our final race at our home track here. But wasn't meant to be, unfortunately. And there you see the rest of the finishing order on your screen. Logano had a terrible race, down in 34th place. Carruth, Cindric, Custer as well. Ended up DNFing now, as it actually looks like Tyler Reddick might not have DNF'd. I might have been wrong right there. So he is still going to, nonetheless, though, be in a must-win scenario. Now, in the next episode, the Truck Series playoffs get underway. Just 2 regular season races that remain in the Cup Series, and today is actually going to be a double upload day, hopefully. So you're going to see Canada, and then probably 3 or 4 hours later, you're going to see hopefully New Hampshire, and then we'll have the regular season finale coming tomorrow. So there you see the playoff grid. Now that Bell won, the first driver out is Harrison Burton, and he is 80 points below the cut line. So he is likely going to be in a must-win scenario here unless Sam Mayer has a catastrophic final 2 races. So unfortunate for those guys that are below the cut line. Logano is about to miss the playoffs as well, and Harrison Burton. Didn't expect to see that happening now, so we'll see what happens in the next 2. Before we end it, just want to say thank you to the Going Racing members of MJ, Joseph 9001, Timothy Arline, Hayes Gaming, Brett Durward, Dark Gengar Gaming, AJ Vasura, Russell Dixon, Kenneth Barnett, Dana9302, Speed Demon 341, Ellis Emery, as well as Jay Fitz. I appreciate you guys' support as usual, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great day, everybody.